very, very good team, a top 20 team. You know, Gus has done a really good job there. These guys play well in all phases of the game. You know, their defense has played well. They're second in scoring in the SEC and scoring defense. They've got some very active, you know, linebackers, very athletic on defense, make a lot of big plays, very well coached. Kevin Steele does a great job with them. Offensively, you know, they got great balance. You know, they run the ball effectively. You know, Bo Nix is a very effective quarterback in every regard. He's a very good passer. They've got some very good skill guys at receiver. He can extend plays. He can run quarterback runs when they need him to. They've got some really good running backs. So they have great balance. Play really, really well on special teams. Good return game, good specialist. So this is going to be a very challenging game for us in a lot of ways. And we certainly need to play our best football of the season to be able to have success in this game.
Okay, we'll start things off with Michael Casagrande of AL.com.
Yeah, just wondering, it's been a few weeks since you guys lost Jalen Waddle. Just how have you seen the offense, the passing game evolve and adapt without him?
I think, you know, I don't think you can replace a guy like Jalen Waddle. I think he's an explosive player, you know, an Allen Iverson, you know, type guy that can score lots of points and, you know, puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he can take the top off the defense. And I think we've adjusted very well, and other players have, you know, picked it up for us. And we're certainly going to need to continue to have, you know, that happen, you know, down the stretch here so that we can continue to be effective in how we throw the ball.
Okay, we'll go to John Zener with the Associated Press.
Yeah, Coach, I know you don't always like looking back, but was last year's Iron Bowl, were there a lot of lessons that you guys were able to grow off that game? Because it's a tough way to lose.
Yeah, we didn't play very well in the game. We made a lot of mental errors in the game, taking nothing away from them. They played really well in the game, and they deserved to win. We couldn't make plays when we needed to make them. You know, gave them a couple pick sixes for touchdowns. You know, there's a lot of things to be learned in every game that you play, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that game for us. And you know, we're going to have to execute a whole lot better to have success, you know, in this game.
Okay, we'll go to Alex Scarborough of ESPN.com.
Hi, Nick. I know this one's kind of out of left field, but given the way offenses have evolved in recent years with an increased emphasis in the passing game, have you sort of changed what traits you look for in a running back that you're thinking about bringing into the program?
Well, I don't know that we really changed the traits because we in the old days when we look for running backs, we always like to have guys that are every down players. That means that they're good receivers and they have good hands and they can play well without the ball as well as with the ball, and you can utilize them in the passing game. So I think that's important now, but it's always been important to us, so we really haven't changed the way we think about that. But I guess different than the old days when you just got in the I formation and tossed the ball to the guy and he ran downhill all the time. It's certainly different than that, but you know, since we've been here, we haven't changed what we look for in a running back.
Okay, we'll go with Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach, you just mentioned those pick sixes last year. How have you seen Mac improve since last year's Iron Bowl until now?
Well, I think, you know, he's got a lot more experience. He's got a lot more knowledge. He's a lot more confident. And I think, you know, the improvement is, you know, pretty obvious to everybody that watches the games. He's been very efficient in the way his decision making in terms of the things that he does. And we've been very pleased with the progress that he's made, and he's been able to, you know, play within himself, which I think is really, really important, and couldn't be more pleased with the progress that he's made.
Okay, we'll go with Cecil Hurd.
Cecil, go ahead. Coach, hey, this is Cecil. I don't know if we've had a chance to talk to you. I think you mentioned it on your radio show last week, but could you update us on Trey Sanders?
Yeah, you know, Trey had surgery to repair his hip, and we're very thankful that, he is going to be okay. The surgery was very successful. He'll probably be, a couple months trying to get back to, where he can start working out again and doing things. It wasn't the same kind of hip injury that Tua had, but nonetheless needed surgery. So I think he thinks he's blessed and very fortunate that this could have been worse, and we're thankful that he's going to be able to come back and be able to play again sometime in the future.
We'll go to Tony Sakalas.
Yeah, Nick, has there been a moment where you've seen Alex Leatherwood really show his leadership this season, and how has he grown into that role as a senior, as a leader?
Well, I think Alex probably does as much as anybody from the example that he sets, how he competes, how he plays. He's a little bit of a quiet guy, but certainly leads by example and has done a really, really good job of that, all year long, on and off the field. I think he's demonstrated that, the team is really important to him. The players on the team are important to him, and he's really matured nicely and played very consistently for us. But I think the big thing is he leads by example and really sets a good example for the other players.
We'll go to Brett Hudson with Tuscaloosa.
Coach, the third down defense has gotten better for the last 5 or 6 games now. What do you think is the reason behind that?
Excuse me. I think that, we're playing with 4 out of 5 new starters, in the secondary, 5 out of 6 when you go to dime. And I think the knowledge and experience, not making mental errors, guys being more confident about what they're doing, has probably contributed to that. Understanding how you have to prepare for a game, what teams want to do on third down. I think all those things probably have contributed to it. I think we just played better team defense on third down, so we'll certainly get tested this week in that regard. So, we made some changes in some of the things that we do, but and I think that the players have responded well to those changes and executed better, and we've gotten a little more pressure on the quarterback. Not that we get a lot of sacks, but we're making the guy throw the ball on time, and guys are breaking and tackling better. So, I think all those things are contributing to it.
We'll go to Mike Rodak with AL.com.
What have you seen out of Slade and some of the other players who have replaced Jalen in the return game, both kick and punt? And is there any update on Slade's ankle at this point in the week?
Well, not really. He's, going to be out probably for a day or two and just see how he responds. Those ankles or twisted ankles are a little bit hard to sometimes figure out how a guy will respond. So we don't have a prognosis for that. But I think Slade has done a nice job in the return game. I think Smitty obviously, had a big punt return last week, is very explosive back there for us. We've had to change around, the guys on the kickoff return because of the loss of Jalen. And Slade was back there as an off returner. So we've created depth in those positions, which is a real positive for us. We've been forced to. And the guys that have had an opportunity have responded, really well. So it's going to be important that we do it this week versus very good special teams.
We'll go to Joseph Goodman with AL.
Hey, Nick, I was wondering what you were thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, I think that, we all have to have a lot of gratitude for all the things that we have. Family, especially, relationships. I think we spend a lot of time thinking about the things that we don't have and the things that we want. But I'm especially thankful for family. I'm especially, thankful for relationships. Especially thankful for the opportunities that we've had through the years. And, we're especially, thankful that we're in a position that we can help others, and we want to continue to try to do that in the future. That's really important to Terry and I both.
Okay, we got 2 more. We'll start with James.
Yeah, Coach, a good portion of the way through Will Anderson's freshman season, how would you evaluate the progress that he's made and the impact that he's had on your pass rush?
Yeah, Will's done a nice job for us. He plays hard. He's more confident, I think, now in, what he's supposed to do and what his responsibilities are and channeling, those efforts in the right direction. So we're very pleased with the way he's played, very pleased with the progress that he's made and the improvement that he's made. And, hopefully he'll continue to do that throughout the remainder of the season.
Okay, we'll finish up with Stephen.
Hey, Coach, Alabama's signed a lot of in-state talent the last 2 years, especially the last 2 years. So to you, how much has the Iron Bowl really impacted recruiting, especially in these last few years here?
Well, I think the Iron Bowl always impacts recruiting. I think, it's a pride thing in the state, and, we've got lots of fans on both sides, and they obviously have a lot of passion for, their program and their influence as the man on the street, I'm going to call it, probably has some impact on where guys want to go. We just want to provide the best program that we can, to create value for our players in the future. And I know how important this game is to our fans and our players, and we just want to do the best job we can as coaches to try to put them in the best position to do it.
All right, Coach. Thanks. That's all we got.
Thank you.